New data shows nearly 1,000 more abortions were performed last year in South Carolina than the year before. This comes as many of our surrounding states have enacted laws making it harder for women seeking the procedure to get it without crossing state lines. Now South Carolina's Supreme Court has a decision before it, and that could impact those numbers significantly in the year ahead. State House reporter Mary Green has details.
The landscape concerning abortion access has drastically changed in the last year since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, especially in the Southeast. That's reflected in a newly released report from DHEC, compiling South Carolina's 2022 abortion data. That report details more than 7,000 abortions were performed in South Carolina last year, up nearly 1,000 from the year before and nearly 2,000 from 2 years prior. These 2022 numbers include a 7-week period between late June and mid-August, when most abortions in South Carolina were illegal after about 6 weeks of pregnancy, under a law that was later struck down by the state Supreme Court. But after August, when that former law was blocked and abortion became legal again through about 20 weeks into a pregnancy, the number of out-of-state residents seeking abortions in South Carolina climbed up. That was because neighboring states imposed tighter restrictions on abortion, and South Carolina's 20-week limit became one of the least restrictive limits in the Southeast. Data shows slightly more than half of all abortions performed in the state last year were at or before 6 weeks post-fertilization. That's a flip of what we saw the 2 years before that, when more than half of all abortions were performed between 7 and 13 weeks. This new report comes as the state Supreme Court is weighing whether a new law that bans most abortions after about 6 weeks into a pregnancy is constitutional. As the data shows, their decision will have a significant impact on whether legal abortions in South Carolina could be slashed in half, or whether South Carolina will remain an option for residents of other states seeking abortions. Most of North Carolina's new 12-week ban on abortion went into effect over this last weekend. South Carolina's other neighbor, Georgia, currently has a 6-week ban in place. Reporting from the South Carolina State House, I'm Mary Green.
The new DHEC report shows about 60% of all abortions in South Carolina are performed on women in their 20s. That's in line with the data from previous years.